In this video, we're going to learn how to add content to the internal pages of your website, therefore adding depth and becoming more attractive to the search engines. So as we did in Volume 1, let's click on Site Builder. And now that we're here, it's going to default us to the Content sub-tab. This is where we're going to spend all of our time in this video going over Pages, Featured, Blog, and Graphics. This area is going to allow you to build pages, forms, and also add links to your website. Now, if I click on View Website, it's going to allow me to view my live site that I've built out. Now, where we're going to focus today are here in the navigation buttons. Now, something very important to remember, you have 4 navigation buttons with drop-down capability. And those navs, if you have not done anything to your navigation buttons at this point, are Property Search, About Me, Get Advice, and Local Information. Now, when I say drop down, I mean that whenever you run your mouse over a navigation button and a menu drops down full of internal content or internal pages. This is what we mean by drop down navigation buttons. So coming back over here into LeadStreet, as you can see, I've altered the names of some of my navigation buttons, such as Homes by City, Community Information, Mortgage Calculator, Sellers, School Search, Relocation, and Real Estate Blog. A lot of those did not exist until I either created those navigation buttons or changed the name. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to change the name of one of your navigation buttons. So if I look at Homes by City, all I have to do is click on Edit Button Properties. I'm going to be able to do several things in this edit feature. For one, I'm going to be able to change the name. That's why it's highlighted in blue. So if I wanted to say Homes by Locale, or Homes by Community, or Homes by Region, or any other name that I could think of to help define this specific navigation button and its contents, I would be able to change that name at any time. Everything that we do here can be changed and edited at any point. Nothing is set in stone. What I can also do is determine whether I want to show or hide this navigation button. If it wasn't ready to be shown because it was under construction or I was changing it, editing some information, I can actually take the navigation button down while I make those edits. And whenever I make these changes, I can come over here and hit Submit. And once I hit Submit, page will update. I'll click on OK because the one defining feature that we no longer need to use in our internal pages is Publish. We no longer need the Publish feature beyond this point. Here, it's all about Show and Hide. So if we want to show a page, we click on Show. If we want to hide that page, we click on Hide. And the page will automatically update and the live site will automatically update. There is no lag time. So the system works very efficiently and very quickly. Now, sort order. If I click on Change Sort Order, this is a very basic feature, but it can be very important depending on which sequence you would like to show your information. So if we wanted to change the way these navigation buttons are listed, we can come through here. If I wanted to change Mortgage Calculator to go behind School Search, I would click on 7, and then I would click on 4 for About Me, and click on Update Sort Order. And now after clicking on OK, Mortgage Calculator now falls behind School Search. Now most of you will have a sort order of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I have gone ahead and changed my sequence to a more simpler numerical sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. To me, that is easier. If you want to keep it in the sequence that they've already created for you, feel free to do so. I just wanted to make sure that once you saw my sequence was different, that it is possible to change that sequence in a numerical value. It's up to you how you want that sequence to run. So once we make these changes, update sort order, and now that new order will be reflected on my website once I go there and click on refresh. So again, that is a very simple procedure to follow, and it really just depends on which navigation buttons you would like to show ahead of others. What I would like to do is show you how these drop-down navs appear. You will always know which one is a drop-down nav by looking at the tab Add Form, Add Page, Add Link. This tells us that we could add 3 different pieces of content as much as we would like. Now the difference being, if I scroll down and look at another navigation button, such as sellers, I don't get that add form, add page, or add link feature because I cannot add multiple pieces of content to a navigation button that does not have drop-down capability. If I click on Edit Button Properties in a non-drop-down, I am able to choose which content I would like to show, but I have to select from Page, Custom Form, or Custom URL. I am not able to add multiple pieces of content or mix and match different genres of content. So I must choose from one of these 4 selections in order to show one piece of content, whatever that may be. So you have to understand, although this website has a lot of possibilities in terms of drop-down navigation buttons, you are limited to just 4, and they are very easy to identify. Let's go ahead and build some content. So if I want to add a new page, all I have to do is click on Add Page. And the first thing what I want to do is name this page. So I will call this Test Page and click on Add Page. Now at this point, I'm going to be able to edit the content within this page. If I click on Edit Content, it's going to open an editor that's going to look very familiar to the editor that we saw in Volume 1. This editor is going to allow us to add content in the same manner that we had added content to our home page in Volume 1. We have the same buttons as HTML, Insert Edit Link, Open Graphics Library. So again, we're able to drag and drop images that we want to use within our website. And we're also afforded the ability to manipulate all of the images in here in terms of size. That way, if we upload a photo that's a little too large, we're able to size that down. And again, we're able to come in here into our HTML source code and paste in source code to a testimonial video or an instructional video or even a virtual tour. So we're able to build out our pages in the same fashion as we can build out our home page. So I'm not going to spend too much time in this area because we've already covered these editors and they work exactly the same way as they do in the Design sub-tab. Now if you have any questions on how this does work, you are able to contact eCare. Now when you're ready to save, same procedure as before. You can either hit Submit, Clear Page, or even click on Delete Page if you don't want to use that page at all. Instead of hitting Publish, as I said before, if I wanted to show that page, we wouldn't hit Publish, we would hit Show. And after we hit Show, it would say Page Updated, and we'd click on OK. And now the website would be updated with that new content that we have shown for the website. What I want to show you next is creating a form. A form can be very powerful. So if I look at this specific form, tell me what you're looking for, this was created by Reliance. Now a form, or as we call it in the industry, a squeeze page, allows you to pull additional information from a client. We're basically asking them what they are looking for, giving them a little bit more control, letting them drive the car a little bit longer. And what's going to happen is whenever they fill out a form, it's going to come to us in the form of a lead. That way, as soon as they click Submit after filling out the required information, which isn't a whole lot, price range, type of property, is this your first time buying a home? Do you need to sell your current home? First name, last name, and email. There really isn't a whole lot that they must fill out. But obviously, the more information they put in here, the better it is for us. The more information that we can take away from a client who at this point is a perfect stranger, the better it will be for us in order to help them with their need. Now, even though this one is preset, I'm going to show you how to build your own by clicking on Add Form. Now again, a squeeze page is simply designed to extract more information from a client who is obviously looking for something, either a home or they're looking to sell a home. Either way, we want their business. So if we were looking to snare somebody looking for, say, a condominium, we could create a squeeze page called South Bay Condos. And then what we could do is text in some information right here. Looking for a home in the South Bay? Please fill out the form below to receive information on condos available in your area. Something like that to let the client know that this is the place to go to look for information for condos in the South Bay area. Now, if we look at first name, last name, and email address, we'll see that these check marks are basically set in stone. And the reason this area is set in stone is because in order for a client to become a lead on the agent websites, they must have a first name, last name, and email address. The email address being the unique identifier to establish a contact as a lead. So that's why you cannot change that information, and of course you probably wouldn't want to in the first place. Now everything else, phone, city, state, zip code, and even additional comments, you can all say show. Now additional comments, that is the golden piece that they're giving you. That is where they tell you what they are looking for. Even though it's important to have the first name, last name, and email address, this way they can be a little bit more open about what it is that they're trying to accomplish by coming to your website. So this is where you can find out. I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath condo in Redondo Beach for $650,000. They just told us everything that we wanted to know, and they even gave us a price range. So now we can come into our website and do a search and provide that information directly to that client. And a better chance that we can work with that client exclusively by providing the information that that client is looking for. Obviously, they came to our website, they came to us either from a referral or because they did a search and our website popped up. Whatever the reason, they're here, they filled out this information, and we want to take advantage of that information and contact them as soon as possible with the information they're looking for. That's the point of a form. And of course, we'll allow them to let us know how and when they would like to be contacted. That way we don't intrude at the improper time. So I'm going to save this form. I'm going to save this information because it's exactly how I want this form to look. So what I'm going to need to do now is I'm going to find this form and I'm going to go back to it because I have to add one more piece of information. If I scroll down here, it says next page upon submission. Now what does that mean? It means that after they hit submit, they're going to be sent somewhere back on your website, or even perhaps an outside link. That is up to you, because the first default option is return to form with confirmation of form submission. That's a very basic and simple way to establish confirmation. Another way we could do it is if we sent them directly to a content page for the area specific to their inquiry. So if I put Redondo Beach on here, after they submitted that page, they would go directly to a page that I created about Redondo Beach. That way they could start looking at information of the market area or start looking at listings that are available in that area. So we're keeping them engaged. That's the point of sending them to a content page. What we could also do if we wanted is enter a specific URL. Now, I have a hard time with this feature because the whole aim here is to keep people on your website and engaged in your website. Once you have the client here engaged in your website, you want to keep that client here and continuing to click on your website to find out all the helpful information you provide. Sometimes it can be very difficult to drive traffic to your site. So if you're getting people here, don't send them anywhere else. Keep them on your website, providing them with the necessary information they need to either buy or sell a home. So once you've established that necessary information, whatever it may be, again, I'm not going to tell you what to do, click on Save Form, and after the client submits a form directly to you, you'll receive that as a lead. And again, since you're receiving a lead from your agent website, there is no time frame in which you need to accept that lead. It is not going to go out to any other agents. Just make sure that you do respond in a timely fashion, as anybody who would come through a form will be considered a hot lead. Hot lead is a client that LeadStreet defines as somebody with a sense of urgency. And a lot of times, if they want to move quickly, those are the best clients. The other feature in a drop-down is the Add Link button. Now, Add Link is extremely simple. And again, it can be important if you are trying to drive traffic to another website. But again, the whole point of having an agent website is keeping clients here engaging with the site. So if you wanted to send somebody to global.remax.com, that might be a good idea, considering our websites are regionalized, which means people can only search within the confines of our region, which that may be. If I were in the California-Hawaii region, people coming to my website would only be able to search within the states of California and Hawaii. That's how these websites are designed. So if I wanted to create a link that was called International Search, what I would be able to do is put in global.remax.com, have it open in a new window, and hit submit. That way, if somebody did want to create an international search, they can still come to my website. Instead of me driving them directly to global.remax.com, I can drive them to my website. and then point out the fact that I have an international search option. And when they do click on that tab, it will take them directly to global.remax.com, but not without going to my website first, driving traffic, and having that client know that they can come to my website to get to another. Now, if I want to add a whole new navigation button all on my own, I'm going to be able to do this if I scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. I'm going to see an area that says Add New Top Level Navigation Button. And if I click on that, I'm going to be able to enter some specific information, making this what I want it to say. So if I typed in real estate information, I would say, yes, I want to show this on my website. And my sort value, if I come over here and look at the next sort value, it says 10. Okay, that's the last sort value that's available. So I would type in sort value of 11 because that's the next in my sequence. Now I would decide if I wanted to add a page of content, a custom form that I created, such as South Bay Condos, a preset form, or a custom URL. I'm going to do a form, and I'm going to click on select a form, and I'm going to put in one of these, selling a home. And whenever I click on add navigation button, click on OK, my website, I'm going to click on the home button. And now next to real estate blog, I have a tab that says real estate information. Whenever somebody clicks on there, it is a seller request form. So here we go. This is what a reliance form looks like. That's preset for you. So if a client had filled out this information looking to sell their home, they would come to me in the form of a lead. Now what we're going to be looking at next is featured property. Now if we click on featured property, we're going to be able to add featured listings to our website, homepage, and drop down. So if I go to my live site, these are my featured properties that I added from the featured page. But I also have an internal button under property search called featured properties. So in this area of LeadStreet, the main page featured property settings is for my home page. So these properties will reflect on my home page. I can either display my own listings, my office listings, multiple office listings, which I have chosen here. As we can see, there are a multitude of offices that I have selected, or listings where I specify the MLS agent ID or listing number. Now, if we talk about this last one here, the others are pretty self-explanatory, but this fourth option will allow you to select 12 specific listing numbers from one specific MLS. Now, this option is only for those who are keeping up with their website regularly. As these properties fall off the market, they are not updated with another listing, as this is an entirely manual tool. You have to continue checking on these listings to make sure that each listing that you have provided is still in the MLS as an active or backup listing. Now, if they're not, it has to be replaced with another. If we look at the live website, there is a slot for 5 listings. So for some reason, if you have your own listings, or if there's only 4 listings in your office, it will continue to show this featured finite box for 5 listings, but if you only have 4 listings to show, there will be a blank space in this 5th spot. So that's why it's important, if you're going to use this feature, to ensure that you are putting up a selection that has at least 5 listings. That way you're not showing dead space on your website. Now, once you have ensured which featured properties you would like to use on your homepage, check on this box, and all the properties in all these offices will show on your website, and they will be able to scroll through searching all those different properties. Now down below we have the same feature, same questions, except this is going to be shown here in the property search area, featured properties, in the form of thumbnails. They're going to provide a little bit more information. Now the reason that this is so important is because whenever we click on this property, it's not going to show the listing agent. It's going to show me as this local professional. Now, the reason that the website does this is because it's marketing you. Now, even though this listing doesn't belong to me and it doesn't state that I am the listing agent, it states me as the local professional. That way, I'm not marketing someone else on my own website. And whenever a client reaches out regarding this property, this lead is going to come directly to me. That's the way these agent websites are designed to work, and this is why they are so important. They market you on every single listing. Whether it's yours, whether it's a C21 or a Coldwell Banker listing, it does not matter. They are going to market you as the local expert on this specific property. So at this point, you could change it up. You could show your listings here. You could show your office listings. If you click on Save Thumbnail, It's going to update this information directly to your website. Again, there's nothing else that you have to do once you've updated this information. And the good thing about choosing either my listings or my office listings or multiple office listings is the MLS will automatically update this information as properties come on and off the market. What we can also do is establish a specific listing criteria based on the price of homes. So here in Southern California, in order to be considered a luxury property, the listing has to be initially listed at $1.5 million. So if you only want to show luxury properties for your featured listings, then all you have to do is come down here and put in $1,500,000. You don't need to put any decimals or commas, as the system registers numbers only. Now, there's no reason to put in a maximum price. If you're wanting to show luxury only in your featured properties, you simply need to start at $1.5 million, and it will go all the way up to $100 million, or however expensive properties will get in this area. Once you have that number designated, all you need to do is hit submit, and now the featured properties area will only reflect those luxury properties starting at $1.5 million and above. Now, jumping over to blog, you do have a blog internally that you can use to discuss your market area, to discuss your listings, to discuss the housing market in general. Now, to use this blog, all you have to do is come in here and start typing away. It's a great tool to use to express how you feel about the industry, how you feel about your market area, how you feel about your listings, basically anything you want to relay about the real estate industry. You have up to 7,700 characters, so that's quite a bit of character count that you can use to express what you want your clients and what you want the general population to know. Now, a lot like our previous editors, you are going to have some very specific tools. Now, you're not going to have as many tools as the other editors, but you still have enough to get the job done. You even have this button over here, Insert Edit Link. So that way, if you have an outside blog such as WordPress, you can continue using the WordPress blog, and then you can come in here and write a very brief sentence or two, or maybe even a paragraph discussing your blog, and then type in click here for more information. You would have a link providing your users to go and see the full blog at your WordPress blog site. So you can either continue to use this blog as your everyday blog, or if you already have an outside blog, you can connect the two using your agent website as a stepping stone for the blog. That way they can read a little snippet about the blog here, click on a link, and go directly to your outside blog to read the full blog article. And once you're ready, click on Publish, and that will make this blog entry live to your website. And again, you're free to market that website, however, driving traffic to your blog and all of your search capabilities on your website. Graphics. This is a pretty simple tool that we've looked at several times. But what it can help you to do is load up your library by simply adding all the photos of your listings, or of your market area, or of your logos, photos of you. That way, whenever you're ready to build some internal pages, you already have your library of images built up and ready to be used. That way you don't have to stop what you're doing to upload a photo directly. It will already be here in your library, and you can quickly start building your content pages for your listings, for your market area, and pages that are marketing you directly. That is all we're going to be discussing in the content subtab. Join us for the last volume, volume 3, discussing search and SEO properties.